Hi everyone, we are going to make some bread. Okay, now these are the ingredients we need. We're going to make very basic bread. I'll tell you where you can add a little bit of different things. We're going to use flour. I've got brown bread flour and some cake flour. Doesn't really matter, but the important thing for bread is yeast. Not all bread has yeast, but most bread you use yeast. Okay, so we've got yeast, we've got our flour and salt. Make sure it's salt. Okay, and we also do need a little bit of sugar. I'll get that in a minute. And I'm going to use a little bit of, some butter, which I'm going to melt. I'm going to melt it in the microwave. Okay, right. So I'm just chopping my butter into little bits into my measuring jug here. It's a glass one, so it can go in the microwave. Careful that it can, and I'm just going to go quickly melt it. Okay, and usually to 1 packet of yeast, and I'm going to use the instant yeast, you need about 5 cups of flour. So we're going to measure that now, so we can do that. And yeast, bread needs a little bit of salt and a little bit of sugar. The sugar helps the dough to rise. Okay, the yeast needs that to work. Okay, so this is our mug. Anyone recognize it? We've used it at school and we checked that it is a cup. So I'm going to put it in there. Now, how do I know I've got enough in the cup? It has to be full. Must it be overflowing? No. Okay, so I need to make sure it's level on the top. That's when I know it's a cup. Okay, so there's one. I'm going to put 4 cups of the brown bread flour. Because bread can be a little bit heavy if you put all brown bread flour. So I usually put a bit of 1 cup of cake flour as well. So I've done how many now? This is my 3rd. So that's 3. And 1 more of these. What's 1 more than 3? 1 more than 3 is 4. So I've got 4 cups. I hope I'm right. And otherwise, I need to focus more, don't I? And 1 cup of the cake flour, and it goes. Okay, there it is. So now how many is that all together? I've got 4 bread flours and 1 cake flour. Right? 5 all together. Right, and I'm going to cut open my yeast, and in it goes. Oops. And now, just a pinch. Remember, you use your helping fingers. A pinch of salt here, a pinch of salt there, and I need a pinch of sugar too. That's what makes the yeast grow and do what it needs to do in the doesn't really make the bread sweet. It just helps the yeast to work. Okay, so there we go. Got all my dry ingredients together. I'm just going to mix those a little bit so they're all together. Then I'm going to add my wet ingredients. Remember, what do we make in the middle? We make a well. It's where we put all the wet ingredients. That's the hollow in the middle, a well in the middle. And I've got some butter which is melted, and I'm going to add a little bit of milk. Okay, and make that not that much. Now this milk's out the fridge, so it's a bit cool. Now bread, you don't have to use milk, you can just use water, but I'm feeling it's actually quite warm because the butter was warm from when it was melted, so I can add this milk without having to warm the milk because the milk is getting warm from the warm butter. That's right. So I can feel it's still warm. I'm going to add a little bit of hot water to make it just the right temperature. Get this boiled here. Good. Now this is a measuring jug that is a cup, and it's so that means I've got a cup of liquid. Now bread, you go by the consistency. Sometimes you need to add a little bit more dry ingredients if it's a bit too sticky. But you start with the basic 5 cups of flour and 1 cup of wet ingredients, and you mix it together. And you mix it together. Mix it together so that all the wet ingredients are all part of the dry. And then you're going to use your hands and you're going to start kneading. And that's when you'll feel if it's the right consistency. You're supposed to knead bread for 10 minutes. If you knead it only a little while, it doesn't rise so nicely. Okay, so it's worth the effort. I'm going to start by just getting those dry ingredients mixed. Now if it's too dry after you've mixed it a little bit with your hands like this, and remember kneading, you use your knuckles as well like this, and close your hands and you go like this, and it's a good workout. Okay, go over it, and over it, and over it. Okay, so I'm going to do that for a little bit, and then I'm going to see if I need to add any dry. Okay, so now I've kneaded my dough, and I've put it into a ball. I've kneaded that for 10 minutes, and I've got nice and strong. Yep, so I've kneaded it for 10 minutes, and now I need to cover it. Cover it with a couple of kitchen towels, and leave it in a warm place. Okay, don't go and put it in the fridge, but not in the oven. It needs to be somewhere warm so you can leave it. Just leave it to rise. It's going to double in size, and then you're going to put it into the bread pan, the bread tin, and bake it. Exciting. We leave it for about 45 minutes, an hour. Hi everyone, we're back again, and we're going to check if our dough is risen. It's standing here on it. Wow! It's much bigger than it was. It's risen. It's doubled in size. So if it was like this, it's got twice the size, doubled. It looks a bit more than doubled. Right. You can actually smell that yeast too. So now I have got 2 bread pans, because it should make 2 small loaves, not the big ones, this size. Okay. And all you do is you divide that in 2, put it in your baking tray, put it in the oven, which you can hear is on at 180 degrees, and let it cook for about 40 minutes. Done. And this is the stage, if you like. Got my 3 tomatoes again. You could squeeze a bit of that into the dough. I might do that on one of the loaves. You could put a bit of cheese in, a bit of seeds on. Just have fun really. So I'm just going to take that dough and divide it into 2. Doesn't need to rise twice. I used instant yeast, so it can go there. And I'll just brush. Also, you know what you must do when it comes out? Brush the top with a little bit of melted butter. That's really nice. We don't have it now because it's locked down. Well, that's okay. We improvise. Can't always have everything we want, but then we make an imaginative change. So there's my one, and oh, this was the one I was going to squeeze some stuff into. So I'm going to put it into my tray and make like a little, can you see, like a dent in the middle, sort of like the well we do when we kneading it. I'm going to take these and I'm going to cut it. I'm not going to bite it off because I'm not going to eat it straight away. Just cut the top off. Mom or Dad can do that with you. You can try. Just be careful. Make sure Mom or Dad is around with a knife. And I'm going to squeeze that into, my bread. I've used this tomato for everything today. Even the art. So there we go. And this. Then it goes. So I'm going to have like a sort of tomatoey bread. Like a sort of surprise me. See what comes out. Okay. So there it is, and I'm just going to squeeze it over. squeeze the juice out. Oh my goodness. See what that's like. While the oven's warming, I'm just going to leave them to rest a little bit. If this was non-instant yeast, you'd have to let it rise all over again. But it's okay. Oh, they should be fine. Ta-da! Okay, and our bread is out of the oven. Woohoo! Now you can see the one looks like it's a little bit burnt. Not really, it's just where the fruit, the tomato fruit has caught and it's like grilled it a little bit. Right, now what the best thing to do with this homemade bread is to, as soon as it comes out of the oven, now don't forget, I've washed my hands, of course. Whenever you're busy in the kitchen with food, just like at snack time, before we eat, we wash our hands, of course. Right, you all know that. Right, so what I like to do is to cut a little bit of butter, and while the bread is hot, you just rub that butter. What do you think is going to happen to the butter as I'm rubbing it on the hot bread? What happens to it? It starts to, woo, starts to melt. So it just makes the crust that nice and delicious. Nothing like the smell of hot bread, fresh out of the oven. Yummy. I think I'm going to have some now. It's a bit early for my lunch, but it smells so good.